Hey there, Bloomers and friends. Rev Kev coming to you from Bloom Central here in Palm Springs, California. It is amazing to note that this is my second to the last Bloom Tube until I go on sabbatical for 3 months, and then we'll be returning in September. So I am looking forward to the sabbatical, which I've explained before, and I'm also a little bit frantic in trying to make sure that we're ready to go when the time comes. In addition to getting ready to go on the sabbatical, we also next week have annual gathering of the Southern California Nevada Conference of the United Church of Christ, and next week when I do Bloom Tube, I'll be within hours of leaving to go attend that. So we'll talk about that more next week. But this week it is Memorial Day weekend coming up, and that was always a big weekend in my family because we had a family reunion at a family cemetery where we remembered our ancestors and cleaned up the cemetery and got it all ready for the summer and planted flowers and did all those kinds of things. And it was a real central aspect of my family experience, growing up. The Cascade Cemetery Association meeting, and my Uncle Ken being the president and my dad being a trustee, and doing the business of the association for 1 year until the next year and that sort of thing. So it's really, if you think about an old-time cemetery of an acre out in the middle of farmland with a schoolhouse across the road, a one-room schoolhouse that was converted into the cemetery chapel. That's what my childhood looked like, even up until through high school. Every Memorial Day as we participated in that annual family ritual. This year, we will be here, Mike and I will be here for church on Sunday. It is a time when we will acknowledge our war dead and know that this is a way in which we honor people who have fought for freedom, people who have fought for their countries all around the globe. It is important in my mind for us to remember that there are many people who fight for their countries in ways, and sometimes they're very misguided, and other times they're very well guided in what they're doing. But in reality, the fact of the matter is, anybody that dies in war, it's sad, and we want to be sure that we acknowledge the value of all human souls in the midst of this kind of a day. We're going to sing "Mine Eyes Have Seen the Glory" on Sunday out of the Methodist hymnal. Excuse me again. The thing about that is, there's always the question, do we include the title Battle Hymn of the Republic? Does that really sound like something you sing in church? And I don't usually include the title Battle Hymn of the Republic. The original version was entitled "Mine Eyes Have Seen the Glory." It's when it got published in the Atlantic Monthly that the editor decided to give it the title of the Battle Hymn of the Republic. The thing about it is that it was written as a peace song after the Civil War. If you really listen to the words, it's about God's truth. It's about establishing peace. It's about this truth. Now, there's imagery of the middle 19th century, which is the kind of imagery that we don't really cotton to that much in these days. But if you really do it, "Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He is loose as faithful lightning. With his terrible swift sword, his truth is marching on." And then in the end, Christ was born. Christ was in the beauty of the lilies. That's it. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make all holy, let us live to make all free. Those are songs about liberty and peace, not about the glory of war. Unfortunately, it has been appropriated and misapplied in a million ways to give it that sense. So when we sing "Mine Eyes Have Seen the Glory" on Sunday, let's ensure that we think about it as a prayer for peace, a prayer for liberty, and a prayer that is uplifting to humanity, not something that makes us present ourselves as wanting to destroy humanity. That's what it's going to be this Sunday. I hope you'll be with us. If you can't be with us in body, please be with us in spirit. And as always, please keep us in your prayers.